They are the stuff of dreams. Works of art on wheels that are admired, not just for their looks, but for their performance. Vehicles bred from distinguished bloodlines, with history soaked in passion and glory at the pinnacle of motorsport. Cars that are not improved to be fast, cars that are made fast. This is the Vodka Australian GT Championship. A mix of machinery to make the mouth water with a wide selection of speed. From the big banging 10-cylinder Lamborghini and Audi to the nimble 4-pot Lotus. The German precision of the flat 6 Porsche and the raw grunt of the V8 Mosler. This is a smorgasbord of motoring delicacies pushed to the limit. Welcome to Eastern Creek Raceway in Sydney for round 3 of the Vodka Australian GT Championship.
Hi everybody, Greg Russ with you for round 3 of the Vodka Australian GT Championship, a professionally run sports car series with all sorts of exotic makes and marks.
Basically in our level of our championship we've got a different make of cars. I'm in a Porsche and we've got Lamborghinis and Aston Martins and Ferraris, and the cars are all based on a GT3 spec car from Europe. Basically you can go buy the car, come and run it here. Some are better at some tracks, aerodynamics. The Porsches are good all round for Australian tracks, and they do things differently, and at the end of the lap time they're all very close. This car's a little bit similar to a Porsche that you'd go buy down from the local Porsche dealer, except it's got obviously it's got a bit more racing pedigree put into the car. It's got more aerodynamics, it's got more power, it's got bigger tyres, it's got bigger brakes, and when you put all those things together, it's a fair bit quicker than a road car.
Yeah, challenge cars are the mid-spec category, and these are typically older GT3 spec cars, or cars that don't quite have the performance of the outright GT3 car. So for example, the car I'm in here, that's a 2005 model, whereas against David Wall's car, which is a current spec car, GT3 car.
Well, GT production is basically stock. These ones are, like, literally you can jump in, turn the radio on, turn the air conditioning on, it's a Sunday drive. It's as stock as you can get.
Now the fast and flowing layout of Eastern Creek Raceway is sure to suit the style of the Vodka GT Championship competitors, 3.93 kilometres in length with a total of 12 turns, and the track provides a mix of high and low speed. The current GT lap record holder is David Wall. Some highlights from race 1, held in slick conditions. Poleman Max Twigg caught out early on the warm-up lap, some front-end damage. David Wall led the field away at the start. Wasn't long before Peter Hackett pounced in the Lamborghini. A stop here for Hackett and a change of tyres. That saw Wall's Porsche jump the Lambo and cruise on to a comfortable win ahead of Hackett and a fast finishing Mark Eddy in the Audi. Flying high above us here at Eastern Creek, our official charity for this round, and of course at Bathurst is the Telstra Child Flight Helicopter. Warren Luff joining us in commentary. The results of race 1 determine the grid for race 2. David Wall starting on pole position.
Mark Eddy in the Audi R8 starts in position 3. Tony Quinn, first of the Moslers, in position 5.
Just keep an eye on the right-hand side of the grid there. That'll indicate the different classes each competitor is in. There are races going on within the overall race. And the driver who has a big mission ahead of him, of course, Max Twigg, from the rear of the field after those dramas in that in the first race. He's racing, of course, in the Porsche 997 Cup S. Out of position 24. James Konduras, another with a lot of work to do. It's a rolling start in this class.
These guys starting from the back of the field, they're really going to have their work cut out. But as you said, it's a long race. They've got plenty of time ahead of them.
Cool, dry conditions here at Eastern Creek. Safety car about to peel off in the hands of David Wall and Peter Hackett on the front row there. Field nicely bunched up. Remember, it's an hour-long race, a petite enduro, if you like. For round 3 of the championship, defending champion is David Wall. We're away. Nice start by Mark Eddy from the second row. He's already hustling and putting the pressure on David Wall through the very fast turn one. There's an incident here already. Several cars. Ian Palmer's involved in that. Max Twigg.
Again, Max.
Unbelievable. And there's someone else off to the left-hand side as well that may have been tagged by Palmer. In the meantime, Wall continues. Kimber's car sporting some damage. We're under safety car conditions here now. Warren, let's have a look at this.
You can see off the start, the Lamborghini of Kevin Weeks gets a good jump. It slows, but the action's back here. Ian Palmer gets into the back of Richard Kimber, turns him, and then fires across straight into poor Ray Angus. And Max Twigg, just the innocent bystander amongst all that.
Jumping on board with Max Twigg now. Great start from the rear of the field, trying to weave his way through. He's made up a number of positions. Watch this. Oh, the severity of it. Did something break on the Viper following the contact with Kimber, but both Twigg, and poor Ray Angus, just the innocent bystanders in this one.
You watch from here, you see the Viper going down the left there, gets into Richard Kimber, and then just fires straight back across to
Kimber.
the right.
That almost goes over there.
Absolutely, and poor old Ray Angus is just, same as Max Twigg, just an innocent bystander.
So, like Albert Park, some competitors now faced with hefty damage bills, and Twigg coming off a fabulous run at Albert Park, 2 victories there. He did that 1 minute 46.4 lap in qualifying. Here's Ray Angus's car. What a shame. Good to see that Palmer is out and okay. A lot of the cars parked down near the old drag strip. Let's go to pit lane. Kimber's pretty unhappy, I'd imagine.
Yeah, just disappointing. I mean, the start, obviously rolling start's very difficult, and the guys are going around that first turn, and I got brake checked by the guy in front of me. I'm basically trying not to hit him, and I got hit savagely from behind from a guy who wasn't watching in front of him. So, we'll see what he's got to say about it, but I'm not happy with it. And, enormous amount of damage to the car. So, totally unnecessary in a 1 hour race to go in the first corner.
As you well know, Warren, these sorts of events aren't won in the first lap, the first corner. Restart now, and look at this. Because we've conducted enough laps so far, the pit window is now open, and our race leader, David Wall, taking advantage of that. Peter Hackett shadows him into pit lane, and Dean Grant coming in as well.
A smart move by these guys to sort of take their CPS right now whilst the race is only starting. The guys are trying to get up to speed. It's a really smart decision by these guys.
We should point out that they can choose to remain stationary for the full 60 seconds. They can't refuel. They can make some other subtle changes to the car. But the pit stop delta time, the amount of time that the cars travel into the lane, the amount of time they're stationary, and the exit means with the laps around here at Eastern Creek, we could be confronted with a situation here where Mark Eddy could take advantage and jump them. So we wait with a lot of interest to see how they fire out of pit lane.
This will also be interesting to see how it pans out later on in the race. These guys have elected to stop very early. Obviously, they're not going to take tyres on board at this stage. The guys that pit a bit later might elect to take tyres. They're going to have a fresher car come the end of the race.
Can't stall. You cannot afford to stall on the exit. Great job by Peter Hackett. He shadows Wall out of the pit lane. Here comes Eddy, racing that Audi R8 LMS, the only 2009 spec Audi racing anywhere in the world. One of only 10 of these beautiful machines built. He's into turn 1. Warmer tyres. The front-running guys here will have lost a little bit of temperature and pressure, won't they?
Absolutely. You can see here comes Eddy with Tony Quinn right behind. They've already got Dean Grant there in the Mosler. And you can see just up ahead there's Peter Hackett and David Wall.
Hackett and Wall retain their respective positions post the pit stop. Wall leads the way, fighting on for third. Eddy has it, and look at the way that the Vodka Mosler is having to defend that fourth spot. Dean Grant doing a good job. A break, and back with more from Eastern Creek.